Well, I'm good now that I know that we're not going to be, invaded by aliens. Or that was a little crazy yesterday with all the news coming out about the national security threat.
Yeah, I had $5 on dolphins with laser beams, but I missed it, I guess.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I was. Yeah, how bad is it when you realize, oh, it's just the Russians putting nukes up there? You're kind of relieved.
Well, we knew. I mean, who thinks they're not? They said, oh, they have a delivery. I didn't go to the hearing, so I can talk about it. Or the meeting is supposed to be in the skiff, and that's part of the trap. They put you in. You got to hear this stuff. Then you go in there, and then you, when you're in a classified briefing, you're not allowed to talk about it. So I can talk about it because I didn't go to it, but I could pretty much figure it out. It has all the components that we're trying to fund right now. A war against Russia, and taking away your rights by being able to spy on Americans. So those are two bills that are coming up shortly, and the Uniparty is pushing them. It's not Democrats or Republicans. It's just the Uniparty. And people want to call this town a swamp. A swamp was an ecosystem that's been created by God. This is a sewer. It is created by man. It's just everything flows in and nothing flows out.
And the stench, you can smell it here back home in Tennessee, Congressman. It's really frustrating, I think, for a lot of people. For me, the biggest takeaway from yesterday, can't anybody keep an actual freaking secret up there? I mean, why are we talking about national security threats and all that information is leaking out of what is supposed to be a top secret meeting?
Yeah, well, that's why they probably, part of the reason some of them do it is so they know they can get it out. And he was trying to get it out. And he demanded, this whole thing's just bogus. The whole deal, the funding, everything else about it is bogus. So
what's your takeaway, though? Do you really think this is all being, concocted to put us in a shooting war with the Russians?
I think it's being concocted so we'll spend more money and take away more Americans' rights. And the ruling class loves that because we get in these wars, and what happens? You see people making a ton of money off of them. We sent our missile defense system to Ukraine, and then we had to replenish ours. And guess who owns stock in? People from both parties. They bought it a week prior to the presidential order to send the missile defense system over there. So the whole thing stinks. This town stinks. And the American public, this is what happens when 20 million conservatives decide to stay home and watch The View on Election Day. We lose our country, and that's what we're doing right now. It's being taken from you right in front of you, and we don't have the guts to.
No, I hear you, and it's frustrating. I get it, and we talk a lot about this on this program, that if people would just get up and engage their constitutionally protected rights, then we would be winning in landslide elections. But people don't want to get out. I guess they're lazy. Is that it?
Yeah. And, you have one side saying, well, they're going to steal it anyway. Well, put enough points on the board where they can't steal it. And, we saw during COVID what they were, people started looking over their kids' shoulders on their computers while they were what they were learning and what they weren't learning in school. And parents got alarmed. And then what happened? They go to a school board meeting and complain about it. And the FBI, our FBI, labels them domestic terrorists. So I think we need to wake up. We need to clean this. The money changers need to be thrown out of the temple.
I know that a lot of people were caught off guard yesterday. Your friend, Congressman Mark Green, and he's my friend as well, announcing that he's retiring from Congress. Were you surprised by that news?
I'm not surprised by anything up here. Mark and I came to Congress together. We've known each other for years, and I trust that he's got some good ideas about what he wants to do in the future. It's been rumored that he might run for governor, and it's tough to run for governor when you're stuck in Washington 7 months out of the year. So I think it's if that's what he wants to do, then I support him in all his endeavors and what he wants to do.
Yeah, he's one of the good guys up on Capitol Hill, and I know he had been rumored to maybe be in line for a position in a Trump administration. Of course, he's a medical doctor and a military veteran, but he was telling radio station KWAM in Memphis, Tennessee, that and this was fascinating, that he said, I just thought it would be wrong to run for re-election and then immediately ask for that job, get it, and turn around and quit it to go to another job. And that would line up with the next gubernatorial race in Tennessee.
Yeah, it sure would. And, he spent time like I did in the legislature, and he understands the workings of the state. So, but, I'm disappointed, but I'm not surprised, I guess I should say.
Mm. All right, Congressman Tim Burchett on the Patriot Mobile Newsmaker line. Congressman, we had Victoria Spurts on just a few moments ago. She is fired up over this FISA 702 reauthorization, says it's just absolutely unacceptable for the government to be spying on American citizens.
I agree. And let me tell you how easy it is for them to do it, Todd. So they want to spy on you, and maybe you have somebody mowing your yard or working on your roof or working in your house that maybe they aren't an American citizen and they're here legally. And what do? They bug their phone through the FISA, and because they know they're going to be talking to you. And then they backdoor, they capture you in that, and then that grants them access to you. And you just go down the food chain. I mean, they did it over 100,000 times. I think we've known. I think it's 200 and something thousand times that they've done that, and so it's illegally in my opinion. So it's a real thing, and this is part of this. I think that's really the drive on this double secret meeting with the Russians yesterday, because they were obviously capture that information from somebody, and so that's the way they do it. And, there's so many. I mean, let's be honest. In the hospitality industry, the housing construction industry, and in factories all across this country, who are there? They're primarily Hispanic folks, and they're not American citizens. So I think this thing is something America better wake up over. It's not real sexy. It's a little difficult to figure it out, but that's a pretty easy simplification of it.
Absolutely. Congressman, we got to leave it there. We are super late for a break. Appreciate the great work you're doing up there, and keep holding the line.